I'll begin with number two.
Okay, sounds good.
Given a 90% confidence interval of 45 and 105, for the mean heart rate, which of the following is the best interpretation of this confidence interval? And then I put we are 90% confident that the true mean heart rate is between 45 and 105.
That's what I put too.
Sweet.
Okay, so for number three, um, that's a lot, so I'll just read the second part. So it
If
says,
you
are the requirements for constructing a confidence interval satisfied? Why or why not? So I put that they were satisfied, yes, because the distribution of the mean of each sample is normal, since the data have been determined to be normal.
That's what I got too.
Okay, cool.
Okay, and then number four, of the four types of confidence intervals listed below, which one is appropriate for this experiment? And then I put confidence interval for the difference of means using independent samples.
Yep, I got the same.
Cool.
All right. Um, so number five, I actually wasn't completely sure. It says, which of the following would produce a confidence interval with a smaller margin of error than this 95% confidence interval? Um, so, obtain the savings account balance of only 10 bank customers. Hmm. Is it any of them? Would it be none of the above? Or what did you get on that one?
Well, I got obtain the balances of 90 bank customers rather than 30.
Okay, because that was my second choice, but
Yeah,
I think.
just because I thought like the larger the amount that you take, the smaller the margin it gets.
Yeah. Oh, I guess that's right. I was mixing them up. I just did like a random one, and it's, yeah, if you do 90, it makes it smaller. So
Yeah.
that's right.
So then on number six, I'll just read the last part. Calculate a 95% confidence interval for the true mean length of the shafts, and I got 998.040 and then 1001.960.
Yep, I got the same.
Cool.
So for number seven, how large should n be so that a 95% confidence interval for the mean has a margin of error of 0.001? So I got 38,416 for that one.
So I got two.
Okay.
And then number eight, the appropriate null and alternative hypothesis, um, HO and HA for the mu R. I got HO mu equals 1250, and then the alternative hypothesis mu is less than 1250.
Yep, I got the same thing.
Sweet.
Okay, so number nine. In a statistical test of hypotheses, we say the data are statistically significant at the level of significance A if I put that if the p-value is less than A.
Yep, that's what I got too.
Okay, cool.
Um, Number 10, uh, they collect GPAs from an anonymous random sample size of 15 from each, uh, four different apartment buildings. The data of each apartment building are bell-shaped with no outliers, and the sample standard deviations are nearly equal. Can they use an ANOVA hypothesis test to answer their question? And I put yes, it is enough that the data are bell-shaped with no outliers.
Yep, that's what I got too. All right, so number 11. In a future study, it is determined that the new treatment does not increase the mean survival time in the population of all patients with this particular type of cancer. The researcher has, I put committed a type 1 error.
Yep, that's what I put too.
Okay, cool.
If the level of significance A is made very small, thereby making the probability of committing a type 1 error very small, what happens to the probability of committing a type 2 error? And I put by reducing the probability of committing a type 2 error, we increase the probability of committing a type 2 error.
Yep, that's what I put too. Okay, so 13. The brand advertises that the mean nicotine content of its cigarettes is 1.5, but measurements on a random sample of 100 cigarettes of this brand give a sample mean of 1.53. Is this evidence that the mean nicotine content is actually higher than advertised? To answer this, test the hypothesis. So I put that we would reject HO, or the null hypothesis.
That's what I got too.
Okay.
And then number 14, you'd like to look at the mean number of hours worked for wages per week by male students and female students. You would like a random sample of 100 for each group and test. If those means are different, what is the correct statistical procedure? And then I put independent sample t-test.
That's what I put too. All right, so for 15, an educator is interested in academic achievement by males and females with similar academic support systems. She decides to use brothers and sisters raised in the same home. Furthermore, she decides to use only brother-sister pairs when they are next to each other in sibling order. Should she use a hypothesis test based on independent or dependent sampling? So I put the last one, dependent sampling, if you select a brother so as to compare his academic achievement to a sister, yada yada, yeah.
That's what I got too.
Okay, cool.
16, of the 4 types of confidence interval listed below, which one is appropriate for this situation? And then I put confidence interval for U when O is unknown.
Yep, that's what I got too. Okay, so 17, which of the following is the 95% confidence interval for these data? I put 11.168 and 15.217.
Yep.
Okay.
And 18, we want to know if there's a difference in mean listing price between Hummers for sale in Los Angeles and Hummers for sale in New York. Create a 95% confidence interval for the true difference of mean listing prices between the 2 cities. Of the 4 types of confidence intervals listed below, which one is appropriate for this situation? And then I put confidence interval for the difference of means using independent samples.
Yep, I got the same. All right, so 19, which of the following is the 95% confidence interval for the true difference of mean listing prices between Hummers from LA and New York? I got negative 423 and 5,417.
Yep. Okay, and then on 20, that one's long, so I'm just going to, what is the correct hypothesis test for this situation? And I put ANOVA.
Yep, that's what I put too. Okay, so for 21, calculate the test statistic. I put 7.978.
Mm-hmm. And 22, give the p-value 0.002.
Yep. 23, which of the following best expresses the conclusion of this test? Use a level of significance of A equals 0.05. I put the second one, there is sufficient evidence to conclude that the bone density of at least one of the groups is different from the bone density of at least one of the other groups.
This was one that I was confused on. So I was either the sufficient ones, but I just couldn't decide on which one it was.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so since the p-value is 0.002, it's less
Okay.
than the 0.05. So then that means that there is a difference. So,
Okay. That makes more sense. Okay, so then 24. Which is the correct hypothesis test for this situation? And then I put dependent samples test.
that's what I put too. For 25, calculate the test statistic. I got 1.685.
Yep. 25. Give the p-value 0.096.
Yep, that's what I got. And then 27, which of the following best expresses the conclusion of this test? Use a level of significance of A equals 0.10. So I put, there is sufficient evidence to conclude that there is a difference in the cost of tickets purchased 14 days in advance compared to 90 days in advance.
Yep. That's what I got too.
Cool.
Sweet.
How'd we do?
You
All
got
right.
it.
Sweet.
Awesome.
Nice work.
Yeah, good job.
All right.
Thanks for being patient with my computers and different technological stuff.
Oh, no problem at all. Thanks for starting it.
Yeah, no problem. So
Okay.
we'll
Have a good
see
day.
you on Tuesday.
Okay. Sounds good. See you then.
Bye.
Okay. Bye.